for Reaper Metal Productions. I am Adam of Unbaptized Records, making a brand new video for you today. Today I'm going to go over another selection of music that I've been listening to recently in my car. It's going to be a few doubles in here, some bands that I have multiple albums, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the difference between the two because essentially they sound pretty similar. One I think is more like a compilation of demos. But either way, I think both albums are good. That's why I have them both in my car, and I was just kind of in a mood to listen to more of that band than just the one album. First thing on the top of the list is a Hell's Headbangers release, the band Deceased, which is the Blueprints for Madness. It's one of the earlier albums. This is one of a more chaotic sound to the band versus the early like Luck of the Corpse. I enjoy this. I pretty much like everything by Deceased. I don't own too much. I think I own maybe 4 or 5 of their albums on CD, and then I have the 10-inch split with Crucified Mortals. I'm not sure. I did show that off in my 10-inch collection, and then eventually when I do my CM collection, you'll see it again. But Blueprints for Madness is definitely some great chaotic death metal. I really enjoyed it. I don't own too much of their later stuff. I don't have their newest album, so please let me know in the comments. I'd be really curious if anyone has listened to the newest Deceased, what people think of it. It's definitely something I would be willing to pick up. I think it's like Children of the Morgue or something. So if new Deceased is something you enjoyed, please let me know, because I like pretty much everything I've listened to. I think technically the newest album was either Ghostly White or As the Weird Travel On. I'm not sure which one came out later, but I've listened to both of those and I own both of those. So whichever one of those is the latest one, that's the newest I've heard. And obviously, again, I know there's a new album out, so let me know what you think of it, how it compares to some of their older stuff. I'd be curious. And if you don't know, October 31 is King Folly of Deceased, but it's more of a heavy metal band. I have 2 of their 7-inch records, so those are great. If I ever do a 7-inch collection video, which if I do a video every day, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it at some point. I'll show you those. Those are awesome too. So if you like Deceased, you probably also like October 31. So check those out as well. Next 2 I have are 2 by the band Obscura. This is Retribution and Cosmogenesis. Their albums have a very similar thematic feel to them, both in cover art, obviously, as you can see, very much like, I would say, very similar to like the looks of Origin, but not the sound. So Origin's much more technical, and well, these guys are very technical too, but much faster and a lot harder to maybe enjoy or pay attention to. So if you like a slower version of that, this is sort of like, you're not going to see Justin Horville talking about this. Definitely not a fan of this stuff. Maybe more so on this channel. This is the kind of music I actually enjoy a lot. I believe it was maybe their 2018 album. I forget which year it came out, but that was my album of the year. This is more music in my speed, the technical death metal, similar to like Necrophagus, what they did. I really enjoy this kind of music. I know this is maybe on the wimpier side of music, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. This is the kind of music I really love. I love gore grind, I love death metal, brutal death metal, and I love the super technical guitar wanky stuff, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not a huge fan of super long songs, which is probably why I don't like bands like Denial of God. Sorry, Rob G. But this is awesome. I love this. If you're into the guitar sound and you're not just listening to the most brutal, hateful music in the world, which I like some of that too, but you know, I like to have some diversity in the music I listen to, at least in metal, and I guess some non-metal too. I really enjoy Obscura. If you don't like them, fine, whatever. But if you do like Necrophagus albums, I think you'll really enjoy this if you haven't listened to them. Yes, again, it's not the most brutal stuff in the world. Definitely the stuff they sing about is not hateful or angry or whatever, but it doesn't have to be all the time, at least in my opinion. If you think so, that's fine. You listen to all the hateful, angry music you want to, that's great too. Doesn't matter to me. Like whatever you like. And next 2 releases, one of my favorite, I guess, technical thrash bands, death thrash bands, is Necromania. I absolutely love these guys. I know I've showed them off before, probably this release, but I can't get enough of them. Their album, their newest album, which Visions of something, I could never pronounce the name, some kind of Greek philosopher or something. Definitely my album of the year when that came out as well. I love Necromania. This was a great discovery. This is at least when I bought it, I don't know if it's a Hell's Headbangers release. I think it might have been, but I have the CD and LP. Absolutely love it. And we have the album Divinity of Death. And I believe We're Rotting, which is this one here. I think this might be a compilation of demos or something. I'm not 100% positive. Yeah, okay, so songs 1 through 7 is the We're Rotting EP, and then 8 through 12 is the miscellaneous EP tracks. Okay, that makes sense. So it's a compilation of some EP stuff. This is fucking awesome. I mean, if you like technical death thrash, that's maybe more on the clean side. Yeah, it's not on the super raw side, but again, similar to Obscura. I mean, sometimes people just want to listen to the most raw, brutal, hateful stuff. That's great. Sometimes people want the more technical stuff. This is on the more technical side. So this is the technical thrash side. Obscura's technical death metal side. This is more in the gore grind field. I believe this is a Razorback release. So Billy Razorback had an awesome sale. It was like 20 CDs for $50. This was one of them. This is the band Oful or Awful, not sure exactly how to pronounce it, with the album Horror Fiend. This is phenomenal carcass worship. This, I'm pretty sure they did a split with either Alter Giallo or there was another, I think maybe Gruesome Stuff Relish. I think that's what it was. So these guys and Gruesome Stuff Relish did a split. Awesome release. I'm not sure if it was the same music on this, but it might have been, but definitely that vibe. So if you like more modern carcass worship, not necessarily just completely, I mean, it's gore grind essentially, and they kind of started the genre. So some bands sound more like it, like modern day example, of course, would be Pharmacist, whereas this is more just regular gore grind. So maybe not in the worship genre, but definitely phenomenal. A band you may not have heard of on Razorback Records, OFFAL, if you're wondering. I believe I also have a 7-inch that they did as well, but I'd have to check. Next, we have one of my favorite bands out of Ohio. You're probably tired of hearing about them, but that's too fucking bad because they're amazing. This is Redefining Records band, Faith Extractor. This is their, I think, second or first album, Contempt for a Failed Dimension. You've seen me show off the CDs at this point and the tapes, and if you don't know by now, which you really should, Faith Extractor has their new album out. I think it's still in pre-order and shipping maybe in February, but Redefining Darkness, our buddy there, I don't know if you can see, but Tommy put out this. He also put out their newest album, CD and LP. Make sure to grab it. Make sure to grab this. Grab everything by Faith Extractor. You're not going to be disappointed. Also, if you like this, check out one of Ash's other mini bands, Shed the Skin. That's great as well, out of Ohio. Death metal. You're not going to be disappointed. Last two we have here are classics. Really need no introduction, really need no explanation. So I'm going to show them to you and I'll let you fill in the blanks, because if you don't know these two releases, then I don't know what I can do for you, because I know more than you at that point, and that's pretty scary because I don't know a hell of a lot. Repulsion Horrified. This is awesome because this is one of the Relapse releases, similar to all the Death records, where it's a double disc. So, you know, it's got this little double disc thing here and gives you tons and tons of extras, rehearsal demos, regular demos. I don't know about live or anything, but you have an 84 rehearsal demo, Violent Death, Genocide demo, EPs up to live songs, final demos, and especially for this band, again, not that it needs to be said, but as you know, Repulsion only ever did this one album, so this is all you're getting. So to pick up this release, this double CD here, I'm sure I picked it up from Relapse for less than $15. You're getting probably almost everything they ever released, at least most of it. So if you're a fan of this band, this is the release you want. And if there's bootlegs or demos or live, I know there's definitely some live bootlegs, pick those up too. But at least if you have this, you have everything, or mostly everything they released officially, which is awesome. And then last, Napalm Death Scum. This was sort of a slower burn for me. I didn't really care for the vocals as much compared to other newer grind, but I have to hand it to them for basically starting the concept of grind, putting one of the shortest songs ever written on a CD on here, if not the shortest song. You Suffer, right? Number 12? Yeah, You Suffer. I'm pretty sure that's it. So really no explanation for Napalm Death. I mean, Napalm Death Scum. Come on, that's all you need to know. Let me know what you thought of those CDs. Let me know if there's anything similar to that you'd recommend in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.